Hello. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday, and we are here with you again. It's a wonderful day to be going through some of the behind the scenes kind of look at things at Besame. So I'm Amber. I'll answer any of your questions or direct your questions to Gabriela. And then, of course, the wonderful Gabriela Hernandez. Hooray!
Hello. Hi.
Yay!
Welcome.
And we're back. And so last week, Gabriella gave us a little kind of sneak peek behind the scenes of the Snow White collection. So if you are interested in that, go back to last week's video. And it's all kinds of fun things, a coloring book that a kid actually colored in the 30s, all kinds of things that inspired that collection. And then today, Gabrielle is going to walk us through the Mermaid Lagoon collection based on the mermaids from Peter Pan. So if you have any questions about that already, you can ask those whenever you want, or if things come up as we go along, let me know. If I'm looking down, I'm just looking at your questions. And we already have a lot of wonderful people, Sarah, Louisa, Araceli or Arcelli, Natalie. Hello, all you guys. Thanks for joining us. And yes, over to you, Gabriella. What's the first thing you would like to share?
Well, I wanted to talk briefly about it because the reason that we did the mermaids in Peter Pan is because it's they were iconic mermaids because really they were the inspiration of the mermaids that came later in later films, like The Little Mermaid, for example. If you look at some of the mermaids on the lagoon, some of them look remarkably close to what Ariel looks like. So these were kind of the trial run of mermaids, basically, for Disney, since they made so many of them in this lagoon. There were 8 of them in there swimming around, all with different color hair, and but then everything else about the mermaids was pretty much the same because this scene, even though uh, we remember it very fondly, is a very short scene in the film. So there isn't a lot, or there wasn't a lot of artwork available for it because it is so short. They only are in a few seconds of this movie, really. So the Mermaid Lagoon scene is a tiny little scene, and and most of the time the mermaids are seen from a distance. If you see in the film, you know that you see the mermaids from far away. So what happens with that is that because you see them for a very short time and they're far away, there wasn't a lot of detail in those drawings. So if you look at the actual drawings for those scenes, it's there's not a lot of detail. Like all of them basically share all the same color for their tails, so their tails are exactly the same. So is their skin tone is all the same. So they basically didn't change inks for all of those. They painted all of them the same just to
Wow.
save time because again, you were only going to see them for a very short time. And so the only distinguishing characteristics on these mermaids really was the hair color on them and some kind of accessory. If they had accessories, like one of them had a flower in their hair, or the lily pad on the head, or another one had flowers all the way down her hair. So the accessories was kind of what uh, made you tell one of them apart from another. And some accessories like jewelry and other things like this. But if not, they all basically shared very common thread as far as all the rest of the character development. So I wanted to show you a few things that I had to work with when I worked on this project. So one of them is the color chart. So let me show you. This is basically a color chart that Disney graciously makes for me sometimes when I need it, to show me all the inks that were in the film. So when you see these circles here, somebody actually painted this. As you can see, when you look up really close, it is actual paint. So somebody colored this with the original inks that were used in the film. So Disney actually is really good about saving the colors from every film that they have done. So all of these, they actually have little jars of ink that they keep for all of the different characters and colors, and they're all named, as you can see. And these are the original names of the colors that you can see underneath them. And since they keep them, somebody actually went to those inks and made these swatches for me, so I could see exactly
Hmm.
the color that was used on the animation. So these right here, you
Wow.
can see these were the colors of the tails. So the tail and the fins, these were the
Uh-huh.
shades that were used for all of them. So that's why there's only those, because all of them shared the same color. Same with the yeah, same with the lip color. The lip color was basically this lip color here, and all of them shared the lip color or the cheek colors. The skin color here was the same on all of them, so all the
Oh.
skin was exactly the same. And then the rest of them are hair colors. So you have blondes and brunettes.
Oh.
Um, so it's
That's
very
such an
and then
interesting blonde color. That's so fun.
I know you know the blonde colors in the Disney things. I see this all the time, and it's very interesting because when you see them by themselves, a lot of times the yellow colors look very green, but when you put them in the scene, they look correct, and it's because they're very smart about using the color and kind of like it reflects the color that's going to be around the scene at the time. So they're compensating for the reflections
Oh.
already of that color. And since this mermaid is in the water, and the whole scene has very much of a greenish bluish tone to it, it
Yeah.
makes sense that the blonde would be tinted with those shades. So this was already
Oh.
thought about when they came up with these colors, which is very interesting too. So when you
Yes.
look at it by itself, it's very odd looking, because you see it and you go, wow, that it looks kind of greenish and more ochre than a blonde hair.
Yeah.
But when you look at it in the scene, it looks totally normal. And this was the
Yeah.
same with Sleeping Beauty, because if you look at, and I'll show you Sleeping Beauty's colors next time. Sleeping Beauty's color for the hair is very, very green, but you have to remember that a lot of the scenes where you see her hair are in the forest. So she's surrounded
Right.
by green. So it makes sense for her hair to be that color, because in the scene it looks totally natural. But outside of it, it looks a little bit odd. So this is one of
Wow.
the pieces that I work with. So every time I do a collection, I need the reference like this. So
Mhm.
I have to find it, or they help me with it. Somehow I get my hands on these colors if I'm going to reproduce them, because then I can go to the laboratories and actually match these colors to the colors of shadows or lipsticks that I'm doing, so that I'm making exactly the same shade uh,
Mhm.
for you that is in the ink.
Oh,
So this is
wow.
one of kind of the main pieces that I get from them. Um, so that's one piece that I wanted to show you. Another piece that I wanted to show you is that for the mermaid, if you remember, we made a perfume
Mhm.
that had the little mermaid on the top of it. So this is the bottle on the base, and then it has the sprayer underneath, and it has like a little pad in there, like part of the rock that she's sitting on,
Yeah.
and then it's the blonde mermaid that has the little flowers in the hair
Mhm.
on the top of it. So the way
Nice.
that I developed this, it was quite a lengthy process to actually make her, and I wanted to show you kind of all the steps that went into that.
Yeah.
So first what was done is a 3D model. So this is it's a
Oh.
3D model that is made out of a 3D printer made this, and you
Yeah.
can see it's faded because 3D prints, this type of 3D print is done by a submersive method. So something comes
Oh,
out of the resin liquid. It kind of emerges out
uh-huh.
as a whole. So the way it's done is by lasers and UV light that makes it do that. So this part, as you can see, it's gotten really yellow because it was exposed to more light in my
Oh,
office, where you can see the actual color was actually white when it came out.
wow. So it changed that much just being in the light, just sitting
Just
by
in
the
being in the
window.
light. Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So this is a kind of a solid, not solid, but actually um,
Hmm.
hollow 3D print. So this was the first model that I had of the mermaid from the 3D model that we worked with Disney to actually make this character. And somebody at Disney actually helped me with the model and made the
Oh,
model of this mermaid, because there wasn't one. There wasn't actually a 3D model of this character in existence. So we had to create her from scratch.
oh. So they made a
Um,
model like in a
3D
computer.
and the
Sounds
3D
silly, but
yeah,
a 3D
a
drafting
3D
thing
a
online.
3D
Yeah. Yeah.
program, yes, a 3D
Yeah.
program that could make from the 2D character, could make
Hmm.
a 3D model of her. And somebody had to actually do that in the computer
Yeah.
and sculpt it. So when I first got this, I liked the way that it looked and everything, but this piece already broke actually when I first got it.
Oh.
So this
Oh,
this I right away I thought, okay, this is going to be problematic as far as,
yeah.
because it's so thin. It's
Hmm.
going to be, it's going to have areas where it might break off. The same with these little tiny fingers right here. You can
Oh,
see,
yeah.
that it's very easy for those to break. So this kind of, it's a good step to see weaknesses in your model and to see where you're gonna have problems depending on what material you use to actually make this model. So
Good.
then from this thing here, we made solid models with different materials. So these two here are made out of different types of materials. So because of the breakage issue, we went with a flexible material. So these two materials
Uh-huh.
are flexible materials that
Yeah.
you can do this and it will not break, but it still
Hmm.
has the same amount of detail. If you look at the detail on the
Oh, wow.
hands and the fin, it has the same amount of the detail, but
Hmm.
it's actually in a flexible mold, so that it wouldn't actually
Snap
break
or break.
when you take
Yeah.
it out up and out of the perfume every time you try to open it and
Yeah,
close
because
it.
it's the lid essentially,
It's
right?
the
So
lid
it's
of the
meant has to
perfume.
be taken on
Yeah,
and off.
on and off. Yes. So the issue with durability had a lot to do with that. So that's why we went with this material that's flexible because of
Hmm.
that. So these were early models just to see the face, and this looks like it's one piece, but it's actually several pieces put together.
Oh.
Because the base here is one piece. As you can see right here, there's a seam.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so it goes together here. Then the hair here is one piece, but then this piece of hair and this
Oh.
piece of hair are separate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot in the torso here is separate. So there's a lot of pieces that are
Wow.
actually put together to
Hmm.
make one model, because you couldn't cast it as one piece like this because there's too many undercuts in here. So
Hmm.
material would get caught in here, especially here. See, like these little hands in there.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
it's basically made in pieces and then put together and glued
Hmm.
together. Um, so
And Kristen
that's
asked, what
yes.
material is that made of?
It's a type of a rubber. It's a type of a rubber
Oh.
material that they make toys for children. So it's a children safe type of material.
Hmm.
With Disney, we always have to use child safe materials.
Right.
So it's actually an eco-friendly material because it's a recycled material.
Hmm. Oh, cool.
So that's our. So then when I saw this, we were gonna. The reason they're gold is because at first I thought, okay, we'll just make the mermaid gold. But then when I saw it, I said it doesn't really give me the whole mermaid experience. It's missing something. It kind of looks more like a statue, but it doesn't look like her.
Mm.
So then what I did is I had another model of her, and this is one that I painted it. So this
And
was
you
my
painted this
mocha.
one yourself?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
cool.
So I painted this one just to see how how it would look if it was in color.
Hmm.
So I painted it, and I looked at it, and I thought, okay, I kind of like it better when it's in color. So after I did that, I basically picked PMS colors from the book, from the PMS book, and assigned a color to each area for the manufacturer to be able to paint it exactly the same way I did.
Hmm. Wow.
So this one is actually still a 3D model. This is still not finished. This is still the other
The
material that's a 3D
hollow, yeah.
model. Yeah, the hollow material. Yes, you can see it. It's hollow on the inside there. Um, and then this is an early version of the bottle where it was not frosted. It was
Hmm.
see-through. But I didn't think it looked like a rock enough when it was just
Hmm.
colored but not frosted. So finally, I went with the frosted look on the bottle instead of the of this of this type of look to the bottle.
Hmm.
So that was
Wow.
another process on that. So we went through all of these to get to the final one over here. So that's just a little kind of sneak peek of model making and
Yeah.
working with 3D models and sculptures. Yeah, so it's a lengthy process. This process takes a few months to go through to figure out exactly things that look right. And this is it. And this is actually after we finalize the model, because before this we had to work on the 3D model for a while until the face and everything else was looking correct, and it
Right.
looked correct to me, and it looked correct to Disney. So both of us
Hmm.
actually liked the way the mermaid looked, because it's very different from when you take something that's a two-dimensional shape, two-dimensional character like the mermaid is,
Right.
and you try to make her three-dimensional. There's a lot that you have to kind of fill in the blanks, basically. And
Right.
sometimes the character doesn't look quite right. Like the
Yeah.
proportions are slightly off, or the nose
Hmm.
and the face don't look quite like her. So you have to keep working at it until you get to a point where the character resembles the other character very closely. So that takes a little bit of time. So I wanted to show you this
Wow.
so that you can, get an idea of the base. This is the scene that I was talking about, and I ended up putting this picture on the bugle because I liked it so much. But this is
Hmm.
the scene of the mermaid lagoon that was really my favorite, where you see all of them kind of
Yeah.
on the rocks in that. Uh, and I wanted to use this so badly on something, on any kind of packaging. But the detail was so little on this picture, because remember I mentioned at the beginning that it was only a few seconds of it. The detail
Yeah.
on the mermaids was so low that you can't really just stare at it for a long time,
Yeah.
without looking. Hey, wait a minute, that mermaid doesn't have any lashes and doesn't have any detail on her face, and it's like very, very slight drawings on these things, but
Yeah.
it's done that way for a reason. It's just meant to give you a feeling of the scenery. But the scenery was spectacular. Like the paintings of the scenery, the background paintings were so beautiful that I really wanted to use them, but there wasn't a lot of character in them to be able
Yeah.
to use them as stills. So that's why I put it in the bugle, so at least you're able to see it. But this was one of the only scenes that I had actually original art for, like original cell
Wow. Hmm.
for this. Um, and so the art was really beautiful, especially the paintings on this were really really beautiful, of the rocks and the moss and all that, and the
Hmm.
waterfalls. The paintings were very very pretty. um, so that was one of my favorite scenes in there. um,
Sarah had a quick question
yeah.
that she asked, how many, from start to finish, how many artists worked on mermaid, the mermaid part of the perfume, would you
Well,
say?
there were. I work with three people over at Disney that are basically in charge of different parts of it, and one artist that actually did the 3D model, and then I have an art director that I work with that basically we kind of do the creative and figure out the creative together. And so they provide me the assets that I need, and then I bounce off ideas off of them, and then we kind of collaborate on what I'm going to end up making with that. So I work with three people over there, and then in-house, obviously we have
Mhm.
uh, three designers in house that work with me to finish up the packaging and everything else that we do here. So it's a
Yeah, so it's
combination of their team and our team.
yeah, and it's
Mhm.
just so cool to see how many people are involved and what a process
Oh
it
yeah.
is, because it's so easy to imagine that you just think about it and then it just kind of appears perfectly
Yes, yeah,
made,
yeah,
and that's
yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. It's nice to think about it like that. Yes, and sometimes
you might
I
wish
wish,
that happened to
yeah, I
you.
wish I could. But now every time I see any product, I think of all of the steps to actually make it,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, it's very labor intensive. Most of these projects, especially customized ones like this, where you have to create 3D pieces and make them from scratch. It takes a long time because of all of the art that needs to be made, and also because you have to get approvals, obviously, from Disney on how these things look and make the right pieces. So
Mhm.
it is kind of a lengthy process. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Lovely. Oh, we had a question from before of just if there's going to be any new
Yes.
resume stuff coming out. And yes, there
Yes,
is. There's
yes, there
not a
is.
lot more
Yes,
to
yes,
say, we
yes.
can say,
Yeah,
but
give us a couple of weeks. We have stuff coming out. I promise. It's just that, with yeah, with everything that's going on, there's a lot of delays. There's a lot of again, a lot of our factories are working, but not with complete staffs, or they're working not all the hours that they usually work. So we have some slowdown on the production because of that, but there are several projects that are coming out for the rest of this year, so we'll have plenty of new things for you in the coming months. So just be patient for a little bit longer.
a little bit. Louisa
Yes.
asked, how much control in what you could do for this collaboration did you have? Did Disney have limitations on what you could do?
Well, the limitations were really on the assets, because really
Mhm.
there was not a lot of asset or raw materials to work with. And on top of that, for this collection, I usually buy things that are period specific to when the movie released. And unfortunately, for this film, there were toys that came out, and books and that, like that had Peter Pan, obviously, and Wendy, and Tinkerbell, of course, and things like
Hmm.
this. But the mermaids were such, kind of supporting secondary characters that
Yeah.
really nothing was made with the mermaids, or not a lot. There was one
Hmm.
comic book that kind of had mermaids in it, but they were drawn totally in a different style, so it wasn't something
Oh,
that I could really work with. um, but there were no other toys or other things made with the
hmm.
mermaids, because of the fact that the scene was so small, and it wasn't really pivotal to the movie
Yeah.
as the other characters were. So they weren't, there wasn't a lot there. I kept hunting down, trying to find any references or any products made with mermaids, and at the time they just didn't do any. Um,
Yeah.
Plus, remember, the mermaids were a little risque for the time. They were kind of pushing the envelope a little bit on the mermaid, because number one, yeah, number one, some of them didn't have tops, um, which if you look at the movie again, you'll see that some of them actually don't have bras on, which is a big
Yeah.
no-no nowadays. You have to have, the obligatory strap on the side of the character,
Ah.
so that that there's a top. Yeah, it's kind of funny, this, isn't it? Like on a
Mhm.
cartoon, I have to make sure that it has a side thing on it, so that
And
it's
so it's not
people
enough to
know.
just have it covered. It has to be even on the side.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Oh
yes.
my
Isn't that funny?
gosh.
Isn't that
That's
funny?
funny.
So now we have these things, but if you remember on some of these drawings and this, some of them don't have any straps. Like, this character, for example, that has um,
A
the little
starfish, yeah.
starfish on her breast. She doesn't have anything on the sides. And then there were several mermaids that had nothing on, actually, no
Just
top.
hair.
Uh, but you couldn't see anything because of the hair, and they had like
Mm-hmm.
necklaces of pearls or and seaweed and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of very risque, actually. And also they were a bit sassy. If you remember the mermaids on the thing, they were a little bit more sassy.
Yeah.
So it was kind of it was kind of a scene that was a bit more risque than the rest of the film, maybe, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
it didn't get a lot of coverage. Um,
Oh, that's
but
funny.
anyways, that was. I hope, did I answer the question? I hope I
Oh,
answered the
yes.
question.
No, totally. And they
Yeah.
even said that they, kind of figured there would be colors or certain rules, that Disney would have to think about. But
Yes.
even the fact that,
Yeah.
this aspect of
Yeah.
it,
Modesty.
down to the
Yeah.
bra strap,
Modesty.
is
Yeah,
really something.
modesty straps are one of the things. Modesty straps, colors. Basically, as long I'm very much into following the initial palette, or the palette of colors. So they don't have any problem with that, because I keep
Hmm.
to the original shades. Um, but as far as other restrictions are really character related, as far as like distorting the character in any way,
Mm,
like if the face is distorted in some way because of
sure.
something you make, and the features don't look quite right. This happens a
Hmm.
lot when you make like flat pins and things like this,
Oh.
where there's a little bit of a relief, but not a three-dimensional, but a little bit of a relief.
Hmm.
Sometimes the features get a little bit, uh, kind of distorted in
Hmm.
that, and that's something to watch as well. If you look at pins and things like that, you'll see it on some of them.
Yeah. Fascinating. Those are all the questions for right now.
Awesome,
But
awesome,
that's all
awesome.
so interesting.
Yes,
Yay.
and then the other thing we molded just
Yeah.
is was the shell. This shell we molded as well, because we wanted it to look like the shell that this mermaid actually she was actually holding.
Hmm.
this shell in one of the scenes. So we molded it so that it looked just like the one that she was holding.
Hmm.
So the shape of it and uh, the color because it was gold. Uh, and then we even made the inside
Hmm.
pink like the shell was.
Oh, cute.
Um, so it had all of this detailing, all of that. We molded it to go with the theme, and also
Yeah.
the fact that she was the one holding this shell. So we
Hmm.
made the shell to be the same as the other shell. So um, and then on here, this is the last piece I wanted to show you
Hmm.
is this picture here was actually the color key for this scene.
Oh, cool.
And this was the only other original cell that I had. So this artwork actually came from an original cell
Oh, wow.
that I had to work with. So the detail on this was way higher than on the other pieces. So you can see a lot
Okay.
more detail on this scene than you can on any of the other ones. And then these were the color keys of the other colors on this cell,
Wow.
which I had Peter Pan in it as well. So that was
That's
kind
so
of fun.
cool.
And then all these drawings that are down
Hmm.
here, they came from the original sketches. These were the original sketches for the
Oh,
mermaids that were made when the movie was done. So this was all original sketch stuff, and so is this actually. All of this these drawings came from original sketches uh,
wow.
because like I said, the animation wasn't available, so we had
Hmm.
to work with these development sketches and refine them and turn them into finished art like these.
Wow. And so it
So
really
that
is
was
this
a
like
lot of
such
fun
a
too.
unique piece, because those are drawings most people didn't ever get to see before, before they were in
Oh
the
yeah,
collection.
yes, yeah, and these are not drawings from the actual film, but they're from the development drawings
Yeah.
for the film. So yeah,
Wow.
so they're a little bit different, and they were fun though. They were fun because they're very fun characters and kind of very
Hmm.
lively and like a bunch of just very fun girls, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
hanging around with all these girls. It was fun. It
Oh,
was fun for me to do it. And I met some interesting people and that have worked on the mermaids, like had played the mermaids. So I met some ladies
wow.
that actually, yeah, some ladies that actually were models for the mermaids
Oh,
that
cool.
played them at the Disney Studios when they were drawing them. So
Hmm.
which was kind of fun. Yeah, so that was kind of
Wow.
neat. Yeah,
We had,
it was a treat.
gosh, we had a couple questions.
Yeah.
One from
Yes.
earlier. They asked, why didn't you make a brunette mermaid or have different hair color mermaids people could choose from for the perfume bottle?
Well, the problem with that was like minimums of production. So the in order to make any kind of things like this, you have a minimum amount that you have to produce for a factory to do that. And we
Hmm.
really didn't, since these are limited collections, we don't run that many pieces to make variations of things. So that's the reasons that there was only one and there weren't so many others to choose from, is because it was really a short run of one product kind of thing. And this was actually rather ambitious to do for a one product type of thing, because as you can imagine, there was a lot of people involved in a lot of cost in doing all of these
Hmm.
for a very limited time release product. But we just fell in love with it and we wanted to do it. But usually probably other people would not have done this if it wasn't like a wider release type of product.
Sure. And I think that's just
Hmm.
such a big part of it is even if something seems as simple as changing the hair color or giving a couple options,
Yes.
that still just
Yeah.
means that's a
Yeah.
completely separate item that has to have a separate, a separate
Yeah.
product number and a separate thing that goes into making, and
Yes,
there's so many little steps
yes.
along the way into making just a simple variation that sometimes, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
because there's so much detail in everything, maybe we
Mm-hmm.
can't have every variation under the sun, but you will get so much detail for the item that you do
Yes,
have. So it's all
yes,
very
yes.
complicated.
Yes, I
Let's
know.
see. Yeah, you know for sure.
Yeah. Oof.
We had another cute question from Kristen. Which is your
Yes.
favorite collection so far that you've made?
Boy, I
I
mean, I
know.
like pieces of all of them. I can't say like I have a favorite of everything because there's, there's pieces of all of them that I love, and I love all of them. Um, but of course, I have a soft spot for Agent Carter because I love Agent Carter. So and she's a woman rather than a cartoon character. So I definitely, and obviously Lucille Ball as well, because again
Mhm,
she's a woman, so I can relate a little bit more. But Snow White was always my favorite princess, so I love Snow White too. So
mhm.
I have a soft spot for all of them, I think. But some of them I think struck a chord um, with more women than others, and I think Agent Carter kind of did that a little bit because of her personality and the fact that
Mhm.
she is so empowering to other women. So that's what
Yeah.
attracted me to that character. So yeah, so that's one of the ones I love as well.
And then the little follow-up is what was your favorite piece from the Mermaid collection?
I would say my favorite piece was probably the little perfume little girl,
Hmm.
because I just thought she was so cute, and I spent so much time on her, and so I was I was enamored with the little girl on the top of the perfume.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, so I think that's probably one of my favorite pieces from that collection. Yeah.
Would you consider, Araceli asked, would you consider doing a throwback collection to some of the older Besame products? She specifically mentions the black lipstick case and brush.
Oh, the voluptuous lipstick.
Hmm.
Is that the one
I
you're
think
talking
so,
about?
yeah.
Yes, yeah, yes, yeah. That one was really pretty. Yes, and we could do something with that in the future. I certainly like that artwork. I love it because it's very Art Deco, and but it's using our flowers and our our DNA basically, but making a
Yeah.
very deco looking case, and the black and the gold worked very nicely
Hmm.
with that. Uh, we have something coming up that's using black and gold. I can't say what it is, but we do have something coming up that you will like, that does use that color scheme. So something we are using some of that, but yeah, some of the voluptuous would be really cool as far as the graphics are concerned. So we'll certainly consider that for a future one. Yes.
And we had a couple questions about the Iconic Women collection. So that will be an
Yeah.
ongoing thing. So
Yes.
there's no set number of Iconic Women that
No.
Gabriella will be doing. It'll be
Hmm.
as many as as many as she wants to. So and they'll come out
Yeah.
about once or twice a year. So
A
they're
year.
very
Yes.
intricate. So you
Yes.
can't pop them out instantly, but there'll be like
No.
about one or two a year.
Yeah. For next year, we have two already. So you'll have
Yes.
two of them
Oh.
next year. So yes, so we have two confirmed next year for sure. The For any more of them, I don't know. Any more would probably be the year after, but I have two for sure for next year that are really exciting. I'm very eager to see what you guys think of these two collections. I again put a lot of time into them because they are more involved. These collections are more involved, and the amount of product is a lot more than before. So these are definitely very keepsake type collections. So I'm very eager to share that one with you.
Yay. And we can't give you any clues. I'm sorry. They're
Sorry, I'm
asking
sorry,
for
I
clues.
can't. Yeah,
You can't
I
give
can't.
any
Yeah, because
clues.
it's a little too far off. When it gets closer, I
Yeah.
will. But it's a little bit too far away right now to tell you about it. But when it gets closer, definitely will.
And you had some questions about the lipsticks from the Mermaid Lagoon. Yes,
Hmm.
there were lipsticks with Mermaid Lagoon, and maybe Gabrielle can show
Yes.
them another day.
Yeah,
If we have them
they
right
were
here.
so, you know,
Oh yeah, there we go.
yeah,
They're
these were the
sitting right there the
lipsticks
whole
I can
time.
show you right there. Yeah. So these were the lipsticks. There was one that was um, white like this, and it was a shimmer. So it's like a top
Hmm.
coat for any lipstick. So you could put this on top of any lipstick and make it shimmery. So it's
It's very
like
pretty.
a shimmer. Yeah, it's very very nice. It's like a gloss almost, like a gloss that
Hmm.
has shimmer in it. Um, and all of the cases were pink with all of the little uh, uh, little
Sea life
starfish and
stuff.
sea life
That's so
and all
cute.
around it. Um, and then I don't think I have. And then one of the other colors was a really pink color, which was one of the pinks in here. Uh, so there you
Oh,
go.
neat.
You
Yeah.
can see the pink and pink and pink.
So fun to see it match up.
So yeah, so the pink. So that was one of the lip colors for the mermaids from
Hmm.
from the from the guide here. So you can see I take it right off of this.
And for the red lipstick, which one of those colors did you use for that?
If I remember correctly, the red was one of these,
Hmm. Oh, that's so cool.
and I think this was the blush.
Hmm. That's so pretty. We did have a question. Colette asked if you'd ever consider making the white top coat one again.
Well, we are making some other ones. We had made the top coat one more time, I think, in another location. I think there was a top coat like that actually on Snow White, because
Yeah, the Seven
yeah,
Dwarfs
the Seven
had
Dwarfs
one.
set had a top coat that was like this.
Hmm.
So we might bring that back actually if you like it. Just let us know on the comments and make sure you sign up for our email to get all of um, these updates on things because we'll announce all the collections and things that are coming up on those emails.
Yeah.
So if you want to make sure that you know ahead of time what's going on, um, just sign up to our email and then we'll let you know. And also, if you have any comments, send all your comments to our info line, info@besamecosmetics.com. Any products that you like and you want us to make them again, just let us know, and we'll see if we can put them into something else that we're doing in the future.
Yay. Quick, the pink color from the Mermaid collection asked how that compares to Maleficent. The pink color is a much brighter pink, almost closer to
Yes,
like exotic pink.
yes,
And the Maleficent,
yes,
although it had a little bit of that fuchsia undertone, it still
yes,
was
yes.
more of a
It's
warmer,
darker.
close,
Yeah,
darker, yes, exactly,
yes.
kind
It's
of a color.
definitely a
So they're
dark.
not that
Yes.
close, really.
No,
Yeah.
no, they're not. No, no, not at all. Actually, this color is much brighter
Hmm.
than Maleficent. Maleficent is a deeper shade, a darker. Even though it's pink,
Yeah.
it's darker pink. Yes. Um, so this one is
Okay.
quite bright in
Yeah.
comparison. Oh, you have one
And
of
I've
those? Oh, there you
used
go.
the
Yeah, yeah.
color.
See, like that. If you look at the difference between,
Yeah.
yeah, that and this, yeah, I can swatch it
And they
here
look
actually.
similar when you're just looking at the a little hand to
Let's
hand.
see if you can do it. Like, can you
And
put it
I
right
know.
here, Nick, so they can see it? I don't know if you can see this.
But but yeah, you can see
There
how
you go.
much oh there you
Yeah,
go. Oh my
there you
gosh,
go.
yeah.
See, you
So
can see
yeah,
how
you
much
can
brighter
see
that is.
much bright. And they look in the tube. It's funny because in the tube they do look kind of similar.
Yeah, in the tube
Just
they do,
one to
but
one, but they look
it,
very
yeah,
different.
They look very different. Yes, yes. And even
That's funny.
this one, I'll put it right here so you can
Oh,
see. Like
sure.
this one was the shimmer. See, so
Hmm.
you can see, you can see. And then when you put it on
Yeah.
top of a lipstick, like you put it over this, see what it does to it? It makes it sheen and lighter.
Oh, yeah. I know in certain lights you can really
Uh,
see it stand out. It's very fun. I love those
yeah,
top coat colors.
yeah. It's
Let
kind
me
of a
see.
fun, shiny thing, but
And for Sandy, for holiday collections, again, we have a whole
yes,
bunch of things coming out soon and around the holidays, so there
yes,
will be special things. And like Gabriela said, the best thing to do is to sign up for our email list because you get the first,
yes,
notifications of stuff coming live, and especially as it gets into
yes,
new collections or things around Black Friday and that kind of stuff, email will be the
yes.
literally the first to know. So if you are
Oh yeah,
excited or
definitely.
interested in that, then I highly recommend it. You can just go to besamaycosmetics.com and you'll see either a pop-up will come up or you'll see a window down at the bottom to enter your email
Mm-hmm.
address and name, and then you're all signed up. Yay.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
And
oh,
another piece that we did the same way, just so you guys know, is the mirrors. See,
uh-huh.
when we do the Sleeping Beauty mirrors and the Snow White mirrors,
Hmm.
all of these are made the same way that we made these models. You know, where we
Oh.
had to make a sculpture, 3D model of this, and then cast it, except this is, instead of being cast in the plastics like this or rubbers, this is cast in metal and then
Oh,
plated.
neat.
But it's basically a um, similar process
Yeah,
for the mirrors.
that's
uh,
so cool.
so so we did it for, this is the Sleeping Beauty one that I think you can still get at the store. The store has these, but online I think they're sold out, but the store
Yes,
has some.
no more online, unfortunately.
No, no more. Yeah, they're all gone on there. But anyway, this was done the same way. This started out as a design with all these pieces as something I designed in the computer as a flat design, and then it was made three dimensional in a
Hmm.
3D program, and then all
Wow.
the colors that were put in were figured out from the colors in the animation that go
Wow.
into these things. So these colors actually come from the tapestries and that are in the castle, in the
Oh,
Sleeping
neat.
Beauty
Oh,
castle. So all these colors come from that. So all the colors that you see that are on these pieces are not colors that we necessarily made up, but they're colors that are in the animation itself. So we pull them right from that and use them on the pieces that we make.
that's great. And then the last question,
And so
real
this
quick,
one
is
has
what lipstick are you wearing, Gabriela?
I'm wearing
Fantastic.
Besame Red today.
Oh, yay. I'm
So
wearing
yeah,
Mickey Mouse Red today. So if you like Mickey Mouse Red,
yeah,
definitely get it now
yes,
because it's almost gone. And it's on sale still for
yeah,
$15. So if you want Mickey Mouse Red,
yes,
that's there. And
yes,
then Gabrielle's wearing Besame Red, which is another super
Besame Red.
versatile,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful color. Wonderful. So that was so fun,
Uh,
Gabriella. As oh yes, so go ahead.
yeah, I have one
Yeah.
announcement just to make sure that
Oh, great.
these mirrors, the ones at the store that are left at the store, the reason that they're not online anymore is because they're some of the run had some imperfections in the plating,
Hmm.
and so we don't sell imperfect units in the original packaging.
Hmm.
So the ones that do have some slight variations on the plating are the ones that are left in the store. So they're sold at a discounted price without the original packaging, and they are available at the store. But they're not the pristine ones that came in the original package. So that you know, those are the only things left down there, and there were a few
Yeah.
that were basically not past quality control for us. So because they're still mirrors and they still function, We left them at the store for people that wanted them anyways, that didn't mind that it had some imperfections in the plating. So those are the ones that are at the shop. So if you're interested in that, give them a call, and they
Yeah.
can tell you what they have, or you can come, go by the store. It's all set up and it's all very safe. Everything is
Yes.
cleaned on the hour. There's barriers, so you don't have to worry about anybody getting close to you.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly safe if you want to go in there and take a look at what they have, and if you're interested in that, they're there.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you so
All
much.
right.
That was great. And we'll be coming back with more kind of behind the scenes
Yes.
things like this. So always feel free to let us know if there's specific stuff you'd like to see. Thank you all so much
Yeah.
for watching. Gabriela, thank you so much for being here and sharing all these things.
Oh, thank you.
And everybody
Thank
have
you.
a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.